Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're continuing our exploration of a very specific, very engineered roadmap for financial independence.
It's good to be back. And for anyone just joining us, maybe jumping in here at episode 2, we are analyzing the Golden Path strategy. It's a comprehensive 3-stage system developed by Tamir Kaham.
And we really need to give credit where it's due right up front. The source material is very specific about this.
It is. So Tamir Kaham, he's the creator of the YouTube channel, The Golden Path to Financial Independence.
Okay, and he's the one who actually designed this whole system we're breaking down.
The originator and architect of the 3-stage, 13-step strategy, yes. And I think this is really important for the philosophy behind it. He's also the official Hebrew translator of The Richest Man in Babylon.
That background feels crucial. It seems like this whole strategy is really designed for a specific person.
It is. It's for salaried individuals, people with day jobs who want to move from financial dependence to asset ownership and freedom.
So this is episode 2. And if our last deep dive was kind of the warm-up, this feels like we're actually stepping onto the field now. We're getting into stage 1, the foundation.
This is where the work begins. We're going to cover steps 1 and 2 together today.
And why group them?
Because in this strategy, they're basically inseparable. You can't really do one without the other. They form the, let's call it the psychological and directional foundation for everything that comes next.
Okay, let's unpack that. But before we get into the steps themselves, something jumped out at me in the source material right away.
What's that?
The really sharp distinction it makes between the golden path and, a lot of the other financial advice you see online, the whole FIRE movement.
Oh, yeah. Financial independence, retire early. It's a crucial distinction.
How so?
Well, a lot of the advice you see is framed around, getting rich or hustle culture. It's just a buffet of tactics. Buy this crypto, flip that house.
Or, on the other side, it's that extreme lifestyle compression. The save 70% of your income plan. Eat ramen in the dark for 10 years so you can quit your job at 32.
Right. And look, to be fair, mathematically, that works. If you save that much, you will get there fast.
Sure.
But the cost is enormous. You completely destroy your current quality of life. You're trading misery today for some promise of freedom tomorrow. The golden path it's just fundamentally different.
In what way?
It's about building a system to shift from time-dependent income to asset-generated income without crushing your quality of life right now. It's not about suffering. It's about engineering.
That's a relief. So we're not starting this by telling everyone to cancel their Netflix subscription?
Not today, no.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, looking at the stage 1, we're talking about mindset and vision. I have to play devil's advocate here for a second.
Go for it.
Why start here? Why aren't we jumping into the good stuff? Investment tactics, spreadsheets, loopholes?
That's the most common question.
Yeah.
And the answer really comes from Tamir's background as a systems engineer. He saw that most people don't fail financially because they picked the wrong stock.
Okay.
They fail because they're acting without any internal alignment. They're trying to put all these complicated financial tactics on top of a personal operating system that just isn't built for it.
So it's not a moral failure.
No, it's a system design problem.
A system design problem. I like that phrasing.
Think of it like construction. You can't build a skyscraper on a swamp.
Right.
If you don't fix the foundation, it doesn't matter how good your steel is. The building will just sink. Stage 1 is about stabilizing the soil.
Okay, let's stabilize the soil then. Let's dive into step 1. Shifting financial identity. The sources are so specific about the language here. It's a shift from employee to asset owner.
And we have to be really strict with those terms. It's not just semantics. When we say asset owner, we're not talking about being a wealth manager or just an investor.
Those sound more like job titles.
They are. We're talking about a fundamental identity shift from employee to asset owner.
Let's break that down. When you say employee, you don't just mean someone with a boss, right? I know freelancers who feel like employees.
No, it's not about your contract. You could be a CEO and still have an employee mindset. That mindset is defined by one equation. Time equals money.
The linear trap.
That's it. Your security, it all depends on your salary. The voice in your head is always saying, I work for money. If I stop working, the income stops.
That's the default setting for, pretty much everyone. So what's the asset owner mindset?
It's a totally different equation. For the asset owner, it's systems equal money. Security doesn't rely on your personal effort. It relies on your assets. The narrative shifts to money works for me.
Or, maybe more accurately, I own systems that work for me.
Even better. This goes right back to the origin story of the whole strategy. Tamir wasn't some Wall Street guy. He was an engineer.
He's your systems engineer, right? But the shift happened way before he stopped working. I think he was 45.
At age 45, yeah, when he read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And what the sources stress is that the change in his consciousness, his identity, it happened long before any time-free money showed up.
That's the key part. The shift was mental, not financial.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He read the book, and the next day he went back to the same desk, same job. Nothing had changed on the outside.
Yeah.
But inside, his entire operating system had been upgraded.
So what's different? If I'm sitting at my desk, looking like an employee, but thinking like an asset owner, what am I actually doing differently?
You're asking different questions. The employee asks, how do I get a raise? They're trying to sell their time for a higher price.
Okay.
Tamir started asking a new question. How can I own a system that produces income without my physical presence?
So he was using his job as a tool.
Precisely. The salary wasn't the goal anymore. It was the funding source for his new identity. That's the invisible trap people fall into. They see their salary as the prize. An asset owner sees it as seed capital.
There's a formula in the source material. Identity leads to behavior, which leads to results.
Right. Let's use an example. Your identity is employee. You get a $5,000 bonus. What's the behavior?
I'm gonna start vacation, a new TV, something to reward myself for all the time I put in.
Exactly. Consumption. The result is you're back at zero, waiting for the next paycheck.
And if my identity is asset owner...
Same $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
But now your behavior is different. You see that money as soldiers you can deploy. You think, where can I put this so it brings back friends?
So you buy a system, not a thing.
And the result, over time, is freedom. Same person, same money, totally different outcome. All because the identity shifted first.
I just want to be crystal clear for everyone listening. Step one is not go quit your job tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely not. Please do not do that. That's financial suicide.
Right.
Step one is about adopting the mental framework of an asset owner while you are still employed. Your job becomes your first and most important client.
I like that reframe. My employer is my main client, and they're funding my future empire.
It changes the whole power dynamic in your head.
Okay, so I've made the shift. I have the identity. But, just thinking differently isn't enough.
No, it's not. Identity without direction is just, well, it's a mindset with no destination. The sources use a GPS analogy.
Right, like Waze.
You get in your car, you turn on the app, it knows where you are, you hit the gas, you're moving. But if you haven't typed in a destination,
You're just burning gas and going in circles.
you're moving, but you're making zero progress. This leads us right to step 2, defining vision and the Financial Independence Index.
This step seems designed to fight against that vagueness most of us have with our financial goals.
It's a massive problem. If you ask most people, how much money do you need? What do they say?
A lot, or as much as possible.
As much as possible. That's not a target. It's a recipe for endless anxiety because you can never get there. So step 2 forces us to distinguish between two things people always confuse: financial independence and wealth.
I think most people use those interchangeably.
They do. But they aren't the same. Wealth is about surplus, abundance, maybe $10 million in the bank. Financial independence, or FI, is a specific mechanical state.
Okay, what is it?
It's the moment your passive income covers your living expenses. That's it.
And the golden path focuses on FI first.
Exclusively. Wealth might come later as a byproduct. But if you aim for wealth, the target is too vague. If you aim for FI, you have a concrete math problem you can actually solve.
And to solve it, the strategy gives us a metric, the FI index.
Yes, the FI index. This is your compass for the whole journey. The formula is really simple. Monthly passive income divided by monthly living expenses.
And you're really hitting that word, monthly. Why is that so important?
Because it's all about psychology. If I tell you that you need a net worth of $3 million to retire,
my brain just shuts down. It's an impossible number.
right, it feels like you have to win the lottery. But if I tell you your life costs $6,000 a month, you need to generate $6,000 a month from assets, that's a problem the human brain can start to work on.
It breaks the monster down. So let's run the numbers. If my life costs, say, $10,000 a month, and I have a rental property bringing in $1,000.
Your FI index is 0.10. You are 10% financially independent.
And if I have $5,000 coming in,
Then your index is 0.50. You're halfway there. When that number hits 1.000, you are free. You own your time.
I like how that gamifies it. Getting from 0.0 to 1.0 is a huge leap. But getting from 0.10 to 0.12? That feels like a win you can achieve.
It creates momentum. But there's a catch. You can't calculate the cost of your life until you've defined that life.
This is the vision part, the ideal day exercise.
It sounds soft, but it's hard strategic planning. You have to answer the question, if money wasn't an issue, what would your typical Tuesday look like?
Why a Tuesday? Why not a vacation?
Because you can't live on vacation forever. The vision has to be sustainable. Where do you live? When do you wake up? Who do you help?
So you build the blueprint first, then you figure out the price tag.
Exactly. Your ideal life might be cheaper than your current one, or it might be more expensive. But until you define it, you're just guessing. You can't calculate the target.
Okay, so bringing it all together. Step 1 is the WHO, my identity as an asset owner. Step 2 is the where my direction, my FI index target.
Exactly. Together, they are the launch pad. You can't launch a rocket without a stable pad and a clear trajectory.
And this leads to the challenge for this week. It's not just about listening, it's about doing.
The two-part challenge. First, the identity work. For the next 7 days, every time you catch yourself thinking, how much do I earn? I want you to replace that question.
Replace it with what?
What systems can I build? Just ask the question. Train your brain to look for systems, not just a bigger paycheck.
Just changing the search query in your head.
Precisely. And the second part is the vision worksheet. Sit down with a pen and paper and calculate your current FI index.
Even if it's 0.
Especially if it's 0. Radical honesty. Then define your target FI index, which is 1.00, and attach a specific monthly cost and a timeline to it.
Make it real. Turn it from a dream into a math problem.
That's the whole point.
Okay, before we wrap up stage 1 and look ahead, we have to pause here. This is important. We're talking about money and big life choices, so we need to be very clear about the boundaries.
Yes. At this point, it's important to pause and clarify something essential. This episode is not financial advice. It presents a structured thinking framework only. There are no guarantees. The fact that this strategy worked for Tamir Kaham does not mean it will work for the listener.
Right.
Each listener's circumstances, goals, personality, risk tolerance, and market conditions differ. Listeners must evaluate independently and consult qualified professionals, accountants, advisors, lawyers, before making significant financial, investment, legal, or tax decisions. Responsibility for decisions remains entirely with the listener.
Thank you for that. It is so crucial to keep that perspective. So stage 1 is complete. We have the foundation. We know who we are, asset owners in training, and where we're going towards an FI index of 1.0.
So in episode 3, we start stage 2, building financial resilience. This is where we get tactical.
And we'll be covering steps 3 and 4.
Step 3 is full financial mapping. It's about radical transparency with your current situation, looking in all the dark corners.
That sounds a little scary.
It can be, but it's necessary. And then step 4 is the conscious budget, how to align your money with the vision you just created.
Be sure to subscribe for the full series. Each deep dive will deliver clear, actionable steps.
And I'd really recommend you join the YouTube channel for visuals and more deep dives on the strategy. It's called The Golden Path to Financial Independence.
And the handle for that is a bit specific.
It is. So to make sure you find it, it's youtube.com/@, capital TAMIR, capital GOLE, capital PATH.
So that's at Tamir Goldpath. Or just search YouTube for The Golden Path to Financial Independence.
See you in episode 3, where we bring radical honesty to your financial reality.
Until next time.